everyone. And on our program today, we're going to be talking about hemp production in the state of Nebraska. And I happen to have two of the principals from Western Farms who have proposed putting together a project located, well, centralized here in Scottsbluff, but here in the Panhandle for the production of hemp seed, as well as down the road, potentially the production of some of the end products. And that would be Mark Johnson and PJ Hoehn. Thank you very much for joining us, as well as Keith Ellis from Twin Cities Development. We want to talk about a little bit about the financing, and of course the Western Farms has approached the city of Scottsbluff for LB 840 funding, and that's something that's in process. But first, gentlemen, let's talk about hemp production in the U.S., specifically here in Nebraska. We've had basically 1 year of test plots involved in conjunction with the University of Nebraska Lincoln Extension Service. And I know that one of your brothers had the permit to do so, a 1 acre plot near Mitchell, and it turned out very well, as I understand it, correct?
Yeah, it did very well. We didn't plant it till late July, but we were very happy with how the plant flourished.
And of course, the idea behind this project for Western Farms is to become a Monsanto, a Pioneer, a DeKalb, to be the ones that provide the seed for this industry going forward, right, Mark?
That's precisely correct. With the approval of the 2018 Farm Bill, it legalized hemp production in the United States. There had been some hemp production prior based on a 2014 Farm Bill. We were still operating under the 2014 Farm Bill until new guidance came about, but with the approval allowed for more latitude in evaluating this exciting new opportunity in agriculture.
And that's exactly what it is, because to be able to get in on the ground floor as a producer and ultimately the company be a supplier to producers of the seed, that's really a key. That's like a whole brand new industry, and you're in on the ground floor.
Yeah, with our research this year looking into the crop, obviously we're very excited to introduce a new crop in the industry like this, but one of the main problems that we identified was lack of quality seed suppliers. A lot of people buying poor quality seed and having problems with their crop and quality and yield, everything else. So.
And there are requirements as far as certain levels of THC. It has to be 0.3% or less. And when it comes to production, that's what you've been able to come across. And the idea is, with the facility here in Scottsbluff, is to create those varieties that will consistently produce that.
Yeah, and we've created a public-private partnership with the University of Nebraska that will help us develop a regional specific seed for production for local farmers and for the region as well. Now, to explain that process going forward, obviously you've had the first year, and there were going to be some limited things done with the seed and the product that was produced, but explain that process going forward so people understand that as part of that application that's going to LB 840 for the city of Scottsbluff.
So in conjunction with the university, they bring two very valuable things to our project. Number one, credibility, trustworthiness. I mean, we have to go by all their guidelines, ethics, everything else, which is very important to us as well if we're going to succeed in this industry. Number two is the flexibility with the Department of Ag from a research standpoint, because it's a big investment on our part as well, and so we needed to solidify and have the confidence that we're going to be able to grow it into the future here and transition into as this opens up. And
take the company and make it grow with the industry as things mature. Of course, there is an LB 840 application that's out there with the city of Scottsbluff, and we'll be back in just a moment to talk a little bit about that, as well as more on hemp production in Nebraska and the U.S. in just a moment. And we're back on News Extra. We're talking about hemp production here in Scottsbluff County, Nebraska, and the United States. I have two members of the Western Farms LLC with us, with Mark Johnson and PJ Hoehn, as well as Keith Ellis from Twin Cities Development. Again, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having us this morning.
would like to talk just briefly, if you would, Keith, about LB 840. Let's explain the process and what it's for.
Sure. Well, LB 840, the funding for that comes from a local option municipal sales tax, and that's derived just from any retail sales. There's a percentage of that goes into this funding mechanism for business development. And the city of Scottsbluff has the LB 840 funding, and what they do is they provide through state statute various types of qualifying criteria that they use for how to allocate those funds out. And the process is an applicant will go fill out their forms and then go before a review committee, and the review committee will then take all their information, their financing, and the goals of the company and the growth of the company and the projections that they have, and decide how much that they're willing to invest as a city government into a project. And so it's important that the community really knows that each time they purchase something, they're investing into economic development because of that. And so this is an opportunity for this particular business to have an impact on our area, because it's a new industry. It diversifies our economy, and it strengthens our economy with this new industry. And very similar to, as an example, what Western Sugar and Kelly Bean did years and years ago, and how that has impacted our area. So I think the community, they really need to understand the investment portion of this and how important for business startups to have this opportunity.
And the way this works is that there generally is a loan that's given by the city, and then job credits, especially annually, that go toward paying off that loan over the course of a certain amount of time. And that's the process that Western Farms is currently in with the city of Scottsbluff. PJ, if you would talk a little bit about the impact and what it means to be able to get into an agribusiness such as this on the very ground floor like this.
It's very exciting. Actually, in my career and lifetime, I don't know, we haven't had a crop with this type of potential and potential impact on agriculture. Just the versatility of the crop and new technology. I can't wait to see where this thing goes. So absolutely, we thought it was very important to get in this as quick as possible to get going. Absolutely, the potential's limitless.
And this project has the potential going forward of having quite the economic impact in the area, jobs and otherwise.
For regional area farmers, creating a new specialty crop that we haven't had the opportunity for something new in agriculture like this for a very long time, creating new opportunities for industry as well. So from the standpoint of harvesting and manufacturing and processing this crop, it could be very wide and deep.
Okay, and of course, production-wise, the partners purchased the former TLC building on Avenue B. That's a production facility inside the greenhouse, perfect location to control your environmental circumstances for seed production. Explain a little bit the decision to find that location, as well as start to ramp up production involving that.
Yeah, well, our business plan, step one was for seed production. The greenhouse fits that absolutely perfect. Step two, start processing, get it out to the local growers, give them access to processing and other things. The big, large building there at TLC fits that perfect. And also to showcase hemp-derived products in the front and the retail. So Alex built a beautiful facility there, and it works for the business perfectly. Yeah.
Hemp has so many uses, from a lot of research going into biodegradable plastics, replacing plastic products, from hemp fiber and hemp clothing and paper products. There's a lot of opportunity for replacing traditional.
And there's even use of hemp in concrete. There's digestible items of hemp that are derived from production as well. A whole range of products that potentially some of them could be produced right here. in the future.
Absolutely.
Now, speaking of production, with the building there at TLC, you are going to have an open house here coming up a little bit later this week. Just explain what's going to happen and what people will see, and obviously you want to have as many people come by and take a look as possible, just to get an idea of what this is really all about.
We really want to invite people to come on Thursday the 12th from 4 to 6 to learn more about the industry and the benefits of industrial hemp and how it can impact the economy.
And this is going to be from 4 to 6. Obviously, you're not at full production with every greenhouse. This is something that's going to be happening in stages. But just kind of wrap things up here, what do you hope and envision for, say, 3-5 years down the road as things progress?
As the business and the industry progress, our vision is including as many industries as possible. I mean, the plant's so versatile. There's so many different things, as you alluded to earlier. We're excited if we can get in this, get it established, get it going, watching innovators get into this and how different industries will complement each other. That's really what our grand vision is.
Absolutely.
And of course, economically, the impact on the area could be really massive, not only for jobs, but also for purchasing and sales of all kinds of products and services.
100%.
Well, from economic development, this is our own community can grow this industry.
Which is exactly what TDC has been talking about.
Exactly. This is what the best way to grow economic development in the community is to utilize existing resources, utilize existing businesses or new business startups in this area. And this fits that mold perfectly. And they've done a great job in these first steps trying to get things established, working through the process. And the community needs to really appreciate the work that it takes to get a business started and what they've done, especially in this area because of all of the hoops that you have to go through in the process.
And of course, in this case, there are some additional hoops that you guys are jumping through to get this really startup, if you will, a good jump and off the ground and up and running.
Yeah, and from the standpoint of the regional innovative manufacturing base that we have here, creates a whole nother opportunity for them to take a look at the new products and processes that this industry will require.
So that's the project that's currently underway with Western Farms LLC, based here in Scottsbluff, but also involving a couple other locations here in the county. An application before the city for funding to help jumpstart the process and move it forward. And that's coming up later on, as well as an open house coming up here later this week, where you can see the idea, the vision behind this process and this company. PJ, Mark, Keith, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks,
for
Scott.
having us.